Alright, so first part of what I was talking about was that the stick is able to move in your palm. You're very loose, holding your grip mainly with these two fingers. Some people argue with the thumb and middle. I was never taught that way. I don't know too much about it. I mean, sometimes I sort of feel myself going into that when I'm loose enough, but my main focus usually is to start here. Thumb and index finger. Come at me. I don't care. A lot of people do that too. It's not just me, but I've heard other people have very strong opinions. Anyways, so this here. Then, what do? What I want to do, we already talked about letting the stick rebound. Keeping your wrist down. Extension of your arm, not bent. Not this whole, not elbows out. Elbows are nice and loose, relaxed by your side. I didn't say that in the first part, but whatever. Everything should be relaxed. You're sitting up straight and all this good stuff. Chest out. Okay, now, what you're going to do from here to practice with that loose, nice, relaxed grip. Think about bouncing a basketball. Think about when that basketball has lots of air in it. When it has a lot of air in it, it bounces right back up to your hand. It's so comfortable. You don't have to push hard for that to hit the court or sidewalk or whatever, for it to bounce right back into your palm. If it's just deflated just a little bit, it's so annoying, right? Or super deflated. You have to push hard to get that basketball to bounce back up. You're not having fun anymore. It's not fun. You're working extra hard to get that basketball to bounce. And it's just like an inflated basketball just feels great bouncing off that court right back into your hand. All right? So even if you're not a basketball player, you just mess around. You've played at school. I don't know. As a kid, whatever. You just messed around with a basketball. You know what I'm talking about. We want that feeling from the drumsticks. We want to feel like that stick is rebounding as easily as that inflated basketball. And what we want to do is then just nudge it back down. So we're going to practice slowly. I don't have a metronome on at the moment, but you would put a metronome on anywhere from 60 to 100 beats per minute for now, and just play when you're starting out 8 on each hand, meaning 8th notes with each hand like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and literally all I'm doing is nudging the stick back down. Okay, so it pops up and I'm just nudging it back down. Gravity will bring it down. I don't have to push hard. We're fighting gravity on the way up, but the good news is I'm letting the stick do a lot of the work because it's rebounding. It has like that basketball with a lot of air. I don't have to do a lot of work. I threw it down and it popped back up on its own. And once it pops back up, I just make a small wrist motion to go back down again. Notice my fingers not squeezing. They're very loose. Okay, so I'm going to practice 8 on each hand. Same thing in the left hand. You can see on my left, in this angle, how loose the stick is, like just gently in my fingers. It's not sucked into my palm. Alright? But I am using my wrist. It's a combination of wrist and fingers. Don't forget, stick going down the middle of the palm. Alright, here we go. I'm not going to squeeze hard. Everything's nice and loose. You can see my wrists are kind of like limp wrist kind of thing. Alright, 8 on each hand. So you would just, with a metronome, do it 8, 16 times without any mistakes at a mezzo piano or mezzo forte volume. Do not crush this dynamic wise. Just medium volume, and we're looking for all the hits to be exactly the same. You could do this also, instead of 8 or 16 times, you could do it for a whole minute. You just keep doing it as long as you feel, but you want it to feel easy eventually, and like you're not putting a lot of effort into it, and you're nice and loose and relaxed. No tension, all right? Just take a deep breath, let it out, and just breathe naturally. Here we go. 8 on each hand. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. You can keep going. You can do it as many times as you want. I like to set a goal of 8 or 16 times, so I'm also kind of thinking musically about it. But whatever, you could do it for a minute or longer. Then, as you get more comfortable, up the tempo. But tempo is not the important thing here right now. You're looking for consistency with your 8th notes, meaning they should be locked in place with the metronome and evenly spaced, and make sure you're hitting the center of the pad. You're not hitting flat, doing rim shots, any weird thing right now. Just nice and easy. 8th notes. everything's coming up to the same exact kind of height. And everything sounds kind of the same volume. I encourage you also to practice as soft as you can too. That's actually very helpful. It sounds weird, but it is very helpful because it's a lot of control involved, and that requires a lot of focus. All right, and this gets really your brain working a lot. So here, check this out. Super quiet. Just tap it. And 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, that's some easy eighth note on 8 on each hand practice pad things that you can do. You can do this on your leg or any other surface that isn't breakable, super loud, and has a little bit of rebound. There you go.